26 days and counting. Nearly 300 Nigerian girls are still missing. Today, more U.S. military advisors are on the ground in Nigeria, but military officials are making it clear that actually locating the girls is not their mission. Those officials are telling NBC News, quote, "We've been training Nigerian military and security forces in counterterrorism for the past 2 years. They have to step up." Officials also said, "We have no clear idea where they are," referring to reports that some of the girls have been separated into smaller groups, possibly taken over the border to Chad or Cameroon. The arrival of international help comes as Muslims in Nigeria are praying for the safe rescue of the stolen girls, condemning what they call Boko Haram's war on Nigeria. It also comes as the Bring Back Our Girls rallying cry is being heard around the world again today. Supporters in Nigeria and London are carrying signs with the names of the escaped girls, letting the ones who are still missing know that they have not been forgotten. And joining me now from Atlanta is Kunbi Tenoye, news correspondent with thegrio.com. And we also have with us on the phone from the Nigerian capital of Abuja, Ibrahim Abdullahi, the man credited with first tweeting out the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls. And Mr. Abdullahi, I want to start with you because we were having a little trouble with your connection, so I want to make sure we get to speak with you. Tell us a little bit about the story of how this hashtag came about and how you began really what ended up flowering into an international movement.
Thank you. I think the hashtag, the Back Our Girls hashtag, was first tweeted on the 23rd of September 2014. And I got inspiration from a former Minister of Education in Nigeria here, Ms. Obi Education, the former Vice President of the World Bank. At a function in ICT in Nigeria, she drew the attention of participants that there was an abduction of over 300 girls in the northern part of in the northern state of Boko, and asked people to start praying in solidarity with those abducted girls. And she asked them to demand for the release of those girls. And then that is how I started tweeting, Bring Back Our Daughters initially, then later Bring Back Our Girls, which becomes popular.
And just in case the connection was difficult to understand, you know, what Mr. Abdullahi was discussing was a UNESCO speech that was taking place in Nigeria at that time in the town of Port Harcourt. And he was listening to a speech by Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who is the VP of the World Bank for Africa. And her statement, "Bring Back Our Daughters," really morphed into the tweet that he began that's really become a galvanizing movement around the world. And Kunbi, I want to go to you. And please tell us, you know, what members of the Nigerian community around the world, including in the United States, are saying today about the Nigerian government. They have now started to act. They have now accepted U.S. assistance. Has the assessment of them and their role in this changed at all among the expat community?
Well, you know, people are very disappointed with the Nigerian government. Very, very disappointed. I've spoken to Nigerians here in Atlanta and also Nigerians overseas. And people are, I think, to be honest, very embarrassed that Nigeria has had this lackluster response. Particularly, you know, Nigeria is a huge economy. It's one of the most populous country in Africa, and it's an oil-rich country. So, you know, people are saying, why can't Nigeria step up? And, you know, if you know anything about Nigerians are very proud people. So this is a, you know, this is a real embarrassment. So I really think up until now, people are not happy with President Goodluck Jonathan's response so far.
Yeah, to say nothing of his wife's initial response. And Kunbi, I want to also ask how people are reacting to the arrival of U.S. military assistance. I want to let our audience know that the connection was really difficult with Mr. Abdullahi. We did lose him, so we're going to stick with you, Kunbi. The reaction to people around the world and anyone you're speaking with in Nigeria to the arrival of U.S. military assessment teams, not to find the girls, but to have to assist the Nigerian security forces in doing this search.
I mean, I think initially people are happy that, you know, that there's international support to back up Goodluck Jonathan, because obviously it's clear, I mean, it's blatantly clear that he can't actually do the job. So people are happy, but you've got to really take into consideration now, this has been about 4 weeks that these girls are missing. So, you know, and there's also been reports that the girls may have actually been split up. So, you know, people are hopeful, they're happy that the international community have come on board. But I think there's also an air of caution. Will these girls be found? Are they still in Nigeria? Are they in neighbouring countries? You know, so you know, people are happy, but I think people are very worried about the fate of the girls.
Yeah, indeed. And another piece of disturbing information: Amnesty International confirming something we had heard before, that Nigerian security forces actually had more than 4 hours of advance warning about the attack, but didn't do enough to stop it. That only, I'm assuming, makes things worse if that becomes confirmed.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, this is not completely confirmed, but there is talk that, you know, the Nigerian military beforehand knew that Boko Haram were actually going to come into the school. So I think, you know, on so many levels here, it just shows the level of incompetence, not just of the military, but also of the Nigerian government.
Yeah, but you also do see that there was some novel response from just citizens, because the gentleman we had on the phone, Ibrahim Abdullahi, is an attorney, an ordinary citizen who decided to act. So I think that must give, in your mind, does that give some Nigerian expats some hope that at least there was some action taken, if not by the government?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, in many ways it's very important that now, you know, it's been confirmed that a Nigerian actually started the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, because, you know, it's an embarrassing story. So I think it gives Nigerians a sense of ownership and at least some sense of pride that a Nigerian man actually started this campaign, which really had a huge momentum across the international community.
Yeah, indeed. A Nigerian man based on a powerful speech by a Nigerian woman VP of the World Bank of Africa. So there is definitely pride in that, and obviously everyone praying for those young women. Thank you so much, Kunbi Tinoye of thegrio.com, and thank you to Ibrahim Abdullahi, who was with us briefly on the phone. All right, and now a quick programming note. We did a story on this show earlier this week about political campaign ads, and we just want to be clear that Roger Ailes, while he was a consultant for George Herbert Walker Bush in the 1980s, didn't produce the controversial Willie Horton ad that aired during the 1988 campaign. And we'll be right back.